Welcome into Underground Railroad News. I'm your boy Khalid Cecil, and today I call shenanigans on black men. That's right, I said it. I'm calling out black men because I watched that Ma'Khia Bryant video, and the part that disgusted me and made me the most upset was that brother who was kicking the young lady while she was on the ground and assisting in the beatdown. That's not how men act. He was the one that yelled out, "She's just a child." Well, if you knew she was a child, why were you assisting her in an assault? That makes no sense. What are you doing? What's going on out here, black men? Are we afraid to be men? Have they scared us into a corner so much? They're talking about toxic masculinity to the degree that it has emasculated you? Is that what's going on? And then you have people out here trying to defend it, saying knife fights are just a part of life. Not unless you with the Warriors. Warriors, come out and play. This ain't the 1980s or the 1960s or the 1950s where people snap their fingers and have switchblade fights. What are you talking about? That is absolute garbage and ridiculousness. And anybody who defends that, the only man on the scene was an officer. Now, this is the problem that I'm having with this entire situation. Outside of the whole black man thing, it's when we as a people take up a cause and we find out we're wrong. We find out the details weren't exactly what they were, but instead of admitting that we were wrong and repivoting to the actual situation, we double down on our dumbness just to make a point. Okay? Here's the thing. There is a such thing as police brutality. Police can and do go overboard from time to time. One of my best friends got attacked by the police. But at the same time, in conjunction with that statement, police are not all bad. We can't sit up here and ask people to look at us as individuals when we look at people in the groupthink. And then let's talk about these leftists that you support so much. The left were the people that came out with Jim Crow laws. They're talking about the Florida voting is Jim Crow. Do you know what Jim Crow was? Jim Crow was you couldn't rent an apartment to a black person if one white person was in there. Jim Crow was you had separate bathing areas. You had separate swimming pools. They had separate barbers. I'm talking about everything was separated. And that's exactly what they're trying to do today, except this time you want the segregation. Think about what you're doing to yourself. This is nonsense we have going on right now. And it all started with them destroying family, destroying the nuclear family. And the first family they destroyed was the black family. Because even through slavery, even throughout slavery, black men were there for their children to a higher degree than these free white people. What does that tell you? That tells you that we have an ingrained need inside of us to be caregivers and caretakers as black men, to take care of our family, to be there to support them emotionally, physically, spiritually, the whole nine. But we don't stand around in the corner, and we sure as heck don't kick little girls while they're on the ground. They're sitting up here talking about Ma'Khia Bryant. What about the girl that almost got stabbed? And I guarantee you, after she'd have stabbed that girl, she'd have stabbed somebody else. Because if you look at it from the video, she had already knocked over the girl in the black, was going to go stab the girl in the pink. Now you think after she stabbed the girl in the pink, she's not gonna go after the girl in the black? Let's think about this. Then you got people out here talking about, well, he should have shot her in the booty, or he should have shot her in the leg. Let me tell you something. When you learn how to shoot, they tell you to shoot for center mass because there's a better chance that you're gonna miss, especially in a high intense situation like that was, where that man saved a young lady's life. That's what we should be talking about, him saving a young lady's life. And then we need to ask ourselves, what led that young lady to that point in life that she was doing that? Who was that man who was out there helping her, and then the first one that said she just 16? Come on, man, this makes no sense. We're doing it all wrong. They're getting us emotional, and we are not doing what we are supposed to do. We need to take a step back, take a deep breath, and realize that these people are playing us. And until we realize that, we're never gonna see what's actually going on. That's what I have to say. That's what's going on inside my heart right now, because this has gone entirely too far. There are no more black men out here, and we need to stand up and be men. It is time for you to stand up and be head of household and take your place as a king, and stop running around here letting other people think for you. Find information, use information. That's all I gotta say about this. This is probably another video that YouTube is gonna pull down. But if they don't, like, share, subscribe, help a brother out. I'm trying to reach out to each one to teach one. And I'm about to go underground and work on my master plan.